Hello, Miss Kiera. Okay, so I'm going to record this for you. I'll send it to you, and I'm also going to put it in. I have a private Facebook group that I'll add you to for mentees. I know that you haven't taken the flex classes yet, so I'm not going to focus too much on the systems. I'll point out a couple little things that I always do when I'm doing my CMAs, little quirks with the system and just how I work it and stuff like that. But this is flex. It looks like this when you first log in. Actually, let me go to here. Menu. I'm doing a screen share here with you, obviously. Okay, this is what it looks like when you log in. This is the splash page. So it always have news topics right here. Unfortunately, I don't know why they choose to do this, but they always show us who died here. MLS links, quick links, and then this is just hot sheets like new listings today. There's 87 new listings today. One contingent escape, which contingent escape is a home to sell. One contingent lien holder is obviously a bank owns it. But anyway, Flex MLS will go through all this. So we're going to just look at values, more so how I come up with like a range or if a house is priced right, etc. I always start with two tabs of the same thing. One is my subject property, which is the one your dad might be considering. And then the blank page where I'm going to start looking at similar properties. So if we go over here, a lot of this you're going to hear me refer to that this can be junk in, junk out because some of these fields will auto-populate from the auditor site. Some of them are going to be where the agents have to put them in. So we're subject to human error. Like on this, it says Riverside Green. I've seen agents not fill this in at all. I've seen them just put Riverside. I've seen them put Riverside Green Estates. Like not as an example, obviously not this exact one, but don't rely on the fact that this has been filled in exactly right. But I do use it as my first starting point when I want to look at other areas. So I did a copy on that. Come over here, do quick search, which your flex classes, which I highly recommend taking flex 1, flex 2 immediately. I don't think you need to do them in person. I think they're online somehow. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll look for them. But, and then I'm going to go down here to subdivision. I'm going to cut and paste back here for Riverside Green. And then one quirk of this is for some reason, it auto-populates already highlighted coming soon all the way through to contingent, which I don't know why it doesn't do pending and closed, but I always need those when looking at numbers. So you now see here where my mouse is that it pulled up all the double green stuff. So I'm using my fingers because I have a touch screen to obviously make that larger, but you can also, there's plus and minus down here. So one thing is I know Riverside Green is actually a mixture of houses, condos, and in this case, I believe this is a townhome. So what we're gonna do, this is a unique one, which are always fun. I'm gonna highlight this whole area just because I know that area, pretty much everything was done about the same time frame. You can use these, that your Flex MLS class will show you how to do this, but I'm basically just using one of the tools on the side to highlight this whole area and double click on it. And then once I do that, remember I used the Riverside Green from here just as a starting point to pull up here. Like I popped it in here, but remember I said some realtors will not put it in right, or put it in differently. If I take that out now that I know I'm in the right area, we have 27 current homes. Watch what happens. Ooh, 126. So we obviously have, and this is okay for comps though, because remember what I said, this whole area was built up at the exact same time. It's not like we're talking, we've got, 10, 15 years apart and stuff like that. So it's okay to have that many. I do, when I have that many comps come up, I will normally, because our market is changing so fast, I'll narrow it back down to 6 months worth of sold comps versus 12 months, if that makes sense, because the market changing so quickly. So we're going to make that at about 6 months ago. So now we went from 120, I think it was 126 or something like that, down to it's thinking up here. Sometimes it gets stuck in this thinking, and what I'll do is just hit the list button, because over here, see, you can edit your search here, and this is your list of homes. It'll make it think faster if it just kind of gets stuck. So 67. So we cut it almost in half by doing the 6 month of sales. And we're going to eliminate, see how this is pulling up some really different products. So at that point, go back to edit search. Our subject property is listed as a condo shared wall. But if I remember right, if I go down here and read agent to agent, please direct all questions to Kim, send offers, home is sold as is, HOA has removed, and it became a fee simple. So that right there is not a condo. That's the first red flag of junk in, junk out, where a realtor has kind of skewed things. So what we are going to do is we're going to include over here in our comps. See this subtype down here? This is like different types of houses. We're going to go ahead and do the condo shared wall, but we're also going to do single family shared wall because that's the fee simple. So we're going to add that in too. So now we went from 60 something down to 25. So now if we look at our list, it's going to probably look a little bit more dialed in with what we need there. Yep, there's your subject property, but let's make it still even a little bit more similar. So at 25, we can kind of flip through ourselves. So if you pull this up, we know this is nothing like ours, so we're not going to click it. We're obviously going to click our property. Let's see what this one is. This is a ranch, but probably a little bit more similar. I remember to toggle back and forth. Ours was built in 1981. This was built, this is on, I have it on photos right now, but detail is the report part. So this was 1995. For right now, because I don't know how many good comps I'm going to come in. I would prefer it to be a 2-story, but I'm going to keep this one in for right now. We know that's not good. These are probably good. Let's see what this looks like. It's a little bit more similar, 1982, and we'll keep narrowing these down. So for right now, I'm going to keep that one in. Yep, this one looks like it would be a similar one. So we'll keep that. Keep that one. And now that we're starting to get some of these 2-stories, I'll probably take the ranch out. So I'm going to take that ranch out. And I'm not going to pick this ranch. This one was our square footage. So our square footage was 1290, if you see right there. So let's just see what some of these are looking like. Yep, 1000. Yeah, let's keep that one in. And this one, 1024. Keep this one in for right now. So this one is a 2-story. It's a 2-story built in 97, a little bit newer. I'm gonna leave that one out. I can tell by looking at it, it was newer. 1335. That one's a little bit bigger because of what I forgot already. 1290. Oh, we'll keep that one. That's that newer set. That's a ranch or newer set. I remember we were keeping in. We're not doing that, not doing that one, not doing that one. Not doing the ranches, not doing the ranches. And this one looks like a good one for ours. I can't tell with this one. So this is a 2-story, similar square footage, similar year. So yeah, we'll keep that one in for right now. And this one looks similar. 1936, 2-story, 1880. Yep, so keep that one in. All right, so up here, see 25 results, but 11 selected. So let's go to this next. So now we're narrowing it down even more. So here's ours. So we have 1-car garage. When I do in condos, a 1 and a 2 car, even though obviously you'd like it to be exact, I find buyers prefer a 2-car, but would accept a 1-car if it was right. So I leave 1 and 2 cars in. Let's see what this one has. So this one has nothing. So for right now, let's pull that. So this one has nothing. If we narrow down to where we don't have enough data, sometimes you have to put the no garages back in and just give up value to ours. I think this has none. Oh, 1 car, good. 1 car. This one off street. Does that one definitely have 1 car? Where's it at? Oh, yeah, it does. Talking to myself. So this one had the 1 off street. Let's see what this one has. 1 off street. So let's get rid of that one for now. This one has a 1 car. 0 parking. So let's get rid of that one. 0 parking on that one. So for right now, let's get rid of that. 0 parking. And then I can tell this one obviously has one. Is that a 1 or 2? 1, perfect. Okay, so we narrowed it. We got it down now to 4. So those are probably three. Let's check square footage just to make sure. 1290. Appraisers like to see it within about a 15 to 20% max in difference either way. So you can't have like 1,000 square foot or 1,200 square foot condo and try to run a really solid comp with like a 2,000 square foot. It's just hard to get numbers to match at that point. So 1335 is good. 1335 is good. 1336. So these are all a little bit bigger, but yet well within our range. So this is good, all within 6 months. So these are very, very solid comps. And just because obviously things can get a little wonky there as far as school systems, like we have a blended, let's just make sure they're all Dublin. So Dublin, because obviously that affects comps. Dublin, and obviously we're Dublin. All right, so now I'm really happy with those narrowed down. If you can narrow it down to three, anywhere from 3 to 5 is perfect. If it's very similar, like we made this one, obviously they all have garages, they're similar square footage, they're in Dublin, they're 2-story, done about the same year, obviously in the same area. So I come up here to this CMA. This is my favorite report, and I turn all these into numbers by going to a one-line CMA. So this is us. And we're priced at 201 a square. The ones in contract pending over here is at 205. And then these are 198 and 187. So, and then we look at what, if they're a little bit less, you got to give appreciation some value too. Like look at this one. This one's obviously going on what, 6 months of sales. We're coming into spring. So we expect, as you can tell with the pending, that our square footages start to go up. So definitely don't think it's way off. Now let's look and open up. The next thing I do is just open up the interiors. First, let's see ours. So it looks like it's in good shape, little dated, but yet actually very nice though. There's definitely a difference when you have dated and not taken care of. Nice backyard, nice sunroom. All right, so that's ours. Let's look at this one. This is the pending one that was at 205. So this one looks like maybe obviously a little bit more updated because it's got the white, but I do think that's Formica. Maybe, I can't tell. Oh, that looks like it's solid surface. So I'd expect this one to be a little bit higher price per square foot, which it was. So I would expect this one, obviously, just like the numbers say, they priced the one we're looking at under this one, which rightfully they should have. Not as nice of a backyard. Remember ours, and two, people do prefer ours is a duplex or a twin, however you want to look at it. And this might be a full-fledged condo. We'll have to look because that might obviously with the condo fees and stuff like that, and people prefer having a backyard. So you might have a buyer that weighs out, I'd rather update the condo, you know what I mean, and have it exactly the way I want it versus being with one that's updated, but yet I'm connected to someone I don't have a backyard. Let's see what this one looks like. These are the ones that were priced a little bit less, but not drastically. So whenever something like this is happening, one or two things, they either already had the buyer and they just put it in to get credit for the sale. So sometimes you have to read the description to figure out beautiful condo, LVP flooring, roomy second floor, the basement is partially finished and ready to move in. Entertaining property is tenant occupied with a lease in place. Okay, so that to me probably thinks that it would have been at least a little bit not beat up, but you know what I mean? You're not going to have the finishes you wouldn't an owner occupied. So let's see this one, 265. Photos. Oh, same thing again. Let's see what this one says. Fee simple, no HOA, which is like ours. Charming family opportunity to live in or invest in first floor. So you got a lot of investment properties going there. That's good for what your dad's after. Dublin schools. All right. So not a lot of detail on that. So I would say and I'm going to go ahead and email you this report so you have it. But just the way these are priced, definitely it's price good is what is my thought process. So if the numbers make sense to him on a rental part with that I sent you, and what you might need to do with that report is just plug in those. I did it from my phone. So on that rent report, you might need to pull up the examples it gave, just like we did here, and look to see how it compares. Because I know it gave you a range of a little over 2,000, I think it was. I'm going off memory, and just see if your dad's comfortable. If he wants to see it, I'm gonna go ahead and stop my recording or screen share if I can figure this out again now. Stop share and then go to stop record. Anyway, if he wants to see it, get a hold of us. Jim is here tomorrow until 3, and then I'm in showings all day tomorrow with an out of state or out of town buyer. I'm starting at 1:30 and he's starting at 3. So if you can catch him before 3, you guys can go take a look at this. But let me know if you have any questions.